Music gathers people.
Ritual gathers souls.
Festivals gather cities. But behind every chant, every roar, every light sweep, an unseen blueprint organizes the energy.
Today, we map that blueprint, the elements that power African concerts and festivals, and the designs that turn sound into collective electricity. The idea: what is the energetic blueprint? When I say energetic blueprint, I mean the systemic architecture that creates mass effect, the coordinated mixes of sound, movement, space, light, and rhythm that invite people to lose themselves and find each other. Every festival or concert is a design experiment. Planners and traditions compose sonic codes, choreograph bodies, and stage thresholds so a crowd shifts from individuals into a single organism. Over the next few minutes, we'll study those structures, the pillars you can measure, rehearse, and crucially, design for positive social and economic outcomes. Core elements: sound, movement, light, space, time, taste, commerce. The blueprint has core elements.
I'll introduce them here so you can hear them in every case study.
1. Soundscapes. Sound is code.
It defines entry and exit, signals tempo changes, and physically moves a crowd.
Acoustic architecture. Natural amphitheaters versus stadium rigs shapes the sonic field.
At concerts, large power systems push low frequencies that you feel as much as hear. At sacred festivals, drums and chant create cyclical patterns that induce trance.
2. Movement and choreography. Procession orders, call and response dances, and the spatial choreography of a crowd are designed to create momentum. First, small movement, then mass flow.
Movement produces kinetic energy, the single most visceral currency of festival life. 3. Light and visual signaling. Light communicates role and mood. At concerts, strobe and color changes signal climaxes.
At festivals, lanterns and carved masks make the sacred visible.
Visual cues orient attention and synchronize emotion.
4. Space and thresholds. Thresholds define liminality.
Crossing from market to sacred grove, or from concourse into the pit, resets social rules and intensifies experience.
Good designers choreograph those passages to build anticipation. 5. Temporality and rhythm. Sacred time versus festival time. Many rituals mark seasonal cycles. Concerts compress time into curated arcs. Build, peak, release. Tempo pacing, slowing then accelerating, manipulates physiological states.
6. Taste, scent, and multi-sensory anchors. Taste and scent anchor memory.
Shared meals, festival delicacies, and incense bind the sensory to the social, making experiences sticky.
7. Exchange and microeconomies. Festivals concentrate economic flows. They are temporary marketplaces for artisans. Transport and hospitality turning ephemeral energy into livelihoods.
These 7 elements are not separate, they entangle. The rest of the film listens for their overlap.
Case study at Timkat, Ethiopia. Water, choir, and collective rebirth.
Timkat, the Ethiopian Epiphany, shows how sacred architecture and cyclical time produce communal recharge.
The central threshold is water.
Tablets, the replica arcs, are born from chapels to rivers. The community forms concentric rings. Chant becomes a tidal pull.
At dawn, robes glimmer and the light shifts with ritual intensity. Sound here is not designed to entertain, it's designed to reenact. Bells and chant create temporal layering. Liturgy overlays communal memory, and the splash of water is both symbol and sensory shock, the physical reset.
Time matters. Timkat's peak takes place at a precise hour.
Missing it changes the meaning.
The festival economy is local and pilgrimage-driven. Hostels fill. Vendors sell ritual foods. Craft sellers offer icons. Preservation efforts, UNESCO designation, and local custodians protect the ritual while inviting tourism. That exchange must be managed so sacred time does not become spectacle.
Case study: the Osun-Osogbo, Nigeria. Grove, masking, and river energies. Osun-Osogbo's power emerges from place. The grove is sacred architecture. Statues, shrines, and living trees form a topography of meaning. Costumes and mask work transform bodies into ritual actors. Sound taps local idioms. Polyrhythmic drumming, call and response songs. Movement is cyclical, 3 circuits of the grove. Anointing at the river, a choreography of return.
The festival sustains artisans and ritual specialists.
Its heritage status helps protect the grove, but also creates tourism pressures. Ethical preservation means funding custodians directly and keeping ritual timing intact, not corporate schedules. Case study: see Durbar and processional pageantry, northern Nigeria. Power as performance.
Durbar is political theatre. Centuries of horsemanship and court ritual are condensed into a series of mounted processions that reaffirm hierarchy and social bonds. The emir's presence anchors the event. Fans, drums, and trumpets amplify rank. Movement here is vertical. Rank, posture, and positioning communicate legitimacy. Durbar's energy is sustained by spectacle and ritual reciprocity. Tribute is given. Public presence validates leadership. For modern planners, the lesson is clear. Public ceremonies mobilize civic identity, but they require careful safety and traffic design when thousands gather. Case study: the Fes Festival and Lake of Stars. Sacred listening and festival tourism. Fes stages sacred music as transcultural listening, intimate venues that encourage reflective listening rather than spectacle. Lake of Stars frames place and tourism. Music, workshop culture, and scenic staging create a festival that is simultaneously local and global. Both festivals show different production priorities. One curates intimate listening and ritual resonance. The other amplifies social nightlife and tourism economies. Designers must choose. Do we maximize civic intimacy or tourist scale? Both are possible, but they require different blueprints: small venue acoustics, late-night logistics, local lodging, and transport strategies. Concert mechanics, sound systems, lighting, crowd psychology, production design. Large concerts are engineered systems. Sound designers shape frequency bands so bass travels through the crowd without overwhelming clarity. Lighting designers synchronize cues to highlight peaks. Crowd psychology is central. Engineers use call and response, tempo modulations, and visual refrains to orchestrate waves of emotion and safe release. Practicalities matter. Entry flow, security curbs, emergency egress, and crowd density calculations convert ritual insight into public safety. The best producers merge cultural logic with engineering. They respect ritual rhythms while deploying modern crowd science. Economics and safety ticketing. Informal markets, security, local benefit. Festivals and concerts are local economy multipliers. Vendors, transport operators, and accommodation providers receive surges in demand. Modern ticketing systems from cash to mobile wallets affect who participates and who benefits. The shift to digital can expand reach, but risks excluding informal traders unless designers make inclusionary choices. Safety is non-negotiable. Crowd crushes, stampedes, and unchecked access are preventable. Planning, steward training, clear signage, emergency medical services, and liaison with local authorities make events safe and sustainable. Festivals that center community capacity building, training local stewards, investing in sanitation and waste management, turn ephemeral energy into long-term benefit. Designing better energy sustainability, heritage ethics, and community control. Designing better energy means three things: ecological sustainability, ethical heritage stewardship, and inclusive economic policy. Use renewable power, reduce single-use plastics, and design waste systems. For heritage festivals, CO manage with tradition bearers. UNESCO recognition helps, but local custodians must be paid and protected. For commercial festivals, ensure profit flows to local creatives and artisans through transparent revenue sharing and capacity building. When communities retain control, festivals strengthen identity rather than displace it. Conclusion: the energetic blueprint is a design manual disguised as ritual. Sound codes, choreography, thresholds, time, taste, and exchange all tune together to create social electricity. Whether a sacred procession on a riverbank or a packed Afrobeat stadium, the same principles guide how people become a crowd and how a crowd becomes community. If you learned a new way to hear festivals, hit like, subscribe to African System YouTube channel, and tell us in the comments which festival or concert should we map next. Sources like UNESCO, festival sites, and industry reports are in the description. Support local custodians, honor ritual time, and design for shared benefit. Thank you for watching.